Here's a little something I was looking at on Vice News. I kind of find it interesting. This is about Belarus and the elected dictator that's there. There's two things about this story that seems to be completely relevant. The dictator's use of the police to stay in power. So, obviously he's going to build up the police just like Trump is doing. Going to say that he's a law and order president, so he gets all the police on his side so he can stay in power. When he gets voted out of power, the police are going to keep him in power. That's what he's thinking. Another one is about the subject of the story coming up, about how he stood up against the government and somehow he hung himself. He was beaten to shreds and still had the ability to hang himself in a suicide. When I was young, because my parents' friends, and I don't know, I really don't know how to say, because I was young, they were freedom activists. And stuff like friends of theirs being hauled up by the police and somehow hanging themselves in jail, that was frequent. So, I'm not sure if anything that I would say would even get to anybody in Belarus, but just say, yeah, keep up the good fight. And don't believe none of the bullshit, because it's bullshit. Oh, and by the way, their language speaks to me in a way I just don't understand. Not yet.
Thousands of opponents of President Alexander Lukashenko have ended up here, where they're facing off against hundreds of riot police.
Зачем вы это делаете? Зачем? Ребят, не творите херню.
While opposition leader Tikhanovskaya has gone into exile in neighboring Lithuania, Lukashenko has taken to social media to show he's still in control. At the end of the day, when most protesters had gone home, he flew over the remaining crowds, flanked by his 15-year-old son dressed in full military gear. The police brutality immediately following the election hasn't continued. Some of their victims are still coming to light. 28-year-old Nikita Kravtsov disappeared in Minsk after facing off against riot police. 10 days later, his badly beaten body was found hanged from a tree on the outskirts of the capital. Now, there's obviously a lot of sadness here today, but there's a lot of anger directed at the authorities, who many people here say are responsible. Officials said his death was an apparent suicide, but those who knew him disagree.
Навряд ли здесь скажут, хоть кто-нибудь здесь стоящий думает, хотя бы даже мысль предположить о том, что мог так вот идти, как написано на всех СМИ официально. Так что...
Благословен Бог наш, всегда ныне и присно и во веки веков. Святый Боже, святый крепкий, святый бессмертный, помилуй нас. Святый Боже, святый крепкий, святый бессмертный, помилуй нас. Господи, помилуй, Господи, помилуй.
Его, скорее всего, запытали до смерти. То, что я знаю, какой он был по характеру, он очень твердый был, и он сопротивлялся, его просто забили до смерти, и все.
Я не могу мстить, но не дай Бог им испытать то, что испытываем сейчас мы. И пусть это все будет в их совести. А вот именно чья рука это сделала, пусть он будет проклят. Вот такие. Вот это мое пожелание.
Як би там нам ніякі слідчі не казали, що быццам бы ён сам гэта зрабіў. Гэта хлусня абсолютная. Микита загинуў за нашу і вашу свободу. Ён один з першых вышел на Малдечинскую площадь, сбил червоно-белым стягом. Ён вышел с миром, ён вышел за свободу, ён вышел за справедливость. Уже режим нас не зломить. Потому что мы прагнем свободы, мы прагнем воли, и Бог с нами, и мы переможем. Живи Беларусь! Живя и живя Беларусь!
The struggle that we're fighting, folks, is real and it's global. The Bible speaks of these days about the real true freedom fighter trying to fight for freedom, trying to fight for what Christianity was based on. And we're all under attack. And it doesn't matter what your faith is. It's them against us.